What's going on, Star Wars fans? If you're tuning in and think you have the wrong show because I'm not Ron, congratulations. You've happened upon a special episode of Star Wars Jedi Chat. Rebel Scum Con in Texas happened last weekend, and we have some people who have a lot to say about it. So, welcome to the stage, Ron, Jimmy, and John. Welcome, gentlemen.
What's up?
Yo,
How we doing?
what's going on? I'm still tired.
Good to see everybody.
Yep.
Good to see everybody.
For those who usually join Ron and myself, you know us already. But here we have John and Jimmy. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, you guys, to anyone who may not know you in the chat.
Go ahead, John.
Ron, mic check. Are we good?
Yep.
We're good.
Cool. Love it. Love it. I am the Boba Fett with 3 T's because, of course, the original was taken. I do Star Wars content with Star Wars, Lego collectibles, all that good stuff, shows, movies. I am one half of Clan Fett, with the other half being Clan Brandalorian, my dude. So you can catch us every Sunday. But no, we're here, my man. I appreciate you being here and an incredible time. So I am beyond stoked to talk about it.
Great time to be a Star Wars fan.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm Jimmy the Jedi from Explore the Force, an international Star Wars show. We have counterpart in Charlie. She's over in England. And then we've got Christy, who joined us just a couple weeks ago. We cover all things Star Wars. We got podcasts, live shows, all kinds of stuff. Started doing 3D prints of Star Wars builds and things like that as well. And I do have power, so just saying out loud. If you know, you know.
Yeah, Brandon couldn't be with us tonight, John's other half, and he's looking to get power back real soon.
Yeah. So hopefully he'll get on here and let us know, because we had some good stories, had some good times. I mean, it's good to see you guys again. I mean, we all got to meet each other for the first time in person there and spend some time together. And I was telling my wife, and I think I even told Nick last night, I was like, we all got there and everybody sort of trickled in sort of, at their own separate times and stuff. But then every night we stayed up and all we did was talk about Star Wars, which was, we get 4 of them, which was fucking awesome. So we had a blast just talking Star Wars, because the 4 of us were there and excited, and our buddy Manny was there as well, and had a good time.
Indeed. It was kind of cool too, because it was like, when we knew each other, I've never, John's been on the show, Ron, I've been on with you guys, you come on with us, but we're like, oh, is it going to be awkward? We just were like best friends for like immediately. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So it was a fun time. I just love that how Star Wars brings people together. And then RSC, of course, takes it to a whole nother level. But it was awesome. We want to do it again. So that was great.
Yeah, it was staying up till 2 a.m. and not eating my first meal until 10 p.m. on like 3 days straight. It had me feeling some type of way.
If that doesn't get you in the spirit for a convention, I don't know what does.
Exactly.
We got a lot of people. Oh,
one thing, Holly, Brandon's electricity's out. Hopefully he'll be on here. And we got royalty in the house, gentlemen. A guy who loves Star Wars, Mike, is in the house.
Let's go.
So, appreciate you listening in, along with 730 Evie, Mumbo Jimbo. We got a whole bunch of people in here tonight. Appreciate you guys jumping on here again. Holly, Lovecraft,
Delphi
Rangers.
Yep. So appreciate y'all being here. Lane's here. Jessica's here.
Mom and
JT.
Dad, what up?
Yep. So go ahead.
So Rebel Scum Con. Why don't you tell me what it is, as if I've never heard of it before?
Jimmy, you're the pro.
For nerds to come together and be nerds. The only Star Wars, I think it's probably the only convention that's out there other than Star Wars Celebration that is just Star Wars. They started it 3 years ago. I was lucky enough to see it. I went down to it. I've been going ever since. But I don't do a ton of cons. I've gone to Celebration the last couple years. last couple times, but I do think this is the only one that's only Star Wars, and they have. I mean, if you're a Star Wars fan, they have somebody you want to see. Like they have people from behind the scenes. They have people from the Caravan of Garbage. That's the thing. Caravan of Courage, and was it Ewok Adventures and all this stuff. They have everybody, so it's pretty awesome. We got to meet some cool people coming in and signing for the first time. I don't know what Kentucky does, but he gets a lot of people on their first signings, so it's just a great time. And the panels are always good. People are always good. It's just a great time and it's if you're a Star Wars fan and you don't financially, if you can't afford Celebration or your guy's still running and you're still trying to get your tickets for Star Wars Celebration, you can still, I don't know if they've sold out yet. They'll probably soon, but you can get down there. It's cheaper. Autographs are cheaper. I mean, it's just reasonable. And you don't have to take out a second mortgage on your home to get to it. I don't know.
Yeah, well, and that's true, and I've been to a bunch of them, and I've been to Celebration a bunch of times, but this was different. It was special. It was fun. It's a family oriented, style. There was no drama. There was the fun thing for me, and I know as well as you guys too. It's like all the vendors are all Star Wars stuff, which is cool because you go to San Diego Comic-Con or some of these other ones, which are great. Don't get me wrong. All of them are fun, but this is all just Star Wars, and they don't have Marvel. They don't have, the anime and stuff. It's all Star Wars stuff, which is really cool. And it wasn't like packed that we were walking around like this the whole time, unless you went to Boot to Eve. But inside the convention, it wasn't crazy packed. I think Jimmy, you said they might try to move it next year to
they've already said it's moving. It was in a smaller place the first year, and then the last 2 years it's been there in Frisco at that convention center, and then the rumors were, they were started before we even got down there that this was the last year for it there because it was too small. So too small. But it wasn't that bad. I didn't think.
No, I've been to a lot worse, a lot more crowded. For sure. John, what'd you think?
So that was my first convention. So I guess for me, on the outside looking in, I had no idea what to expect. Like in my mind, a convention is I think of one of those full of I think of an anime convention where there's a whole bunch of different things themes walking around, and there's different just a completely different vibe. So showing up and it's a little bit smaller and consolidated. So it was cool that it was all the people, the majority of the people attending, along with the celebrities, were staying in the hotel. Everyone was in that same area, coming in and seeing only Star Wars stuff. For me, that's cool. I no hate on Marvel or any other theme. Everyone's got their own thing, but that's not my bag. Seeing Iron Man walk around is oh, cool. That's, cool. But seeing one of those Thrawn troopers walk around, I was that's my guy. I walked over, took a selfie with them. The commitment that went into the cosplays that some of these individuals had. We have someone in here, well, two people, Holly and Crafting on Ilum, they both had incredible cosplays. So it's then you get to see people that well, quote unquote know, but that you follow and engage with on panels, and Jimmy's up there playing Family Feud. So it's you get to see a whole bunch of different things go on, and it's that's not probably what's going to happen at Celebration. So I'm kind of everyone's been telling me I'm kind of on a high point with this being my first one. So the comparison when I go to Celebration, I'm really not going to play the comparison game. It's going to be, this is my own little gem that was what it is. And I will always cherish it and push it over to the side. And then next year we'll revisit it. But it was cool. And I think the one thing I took away was a couple things was between the people, all getting along and engaging with each other, the cosplays and environment, and then the artwork and the vibe that just surrounded you. I was consistently looking around at insane pieces of art that were hand done, and it was wow. I really was just taken back with that.
It starts
awesome.
with Kentucky and Bobby and Josh. I think that's the difference in this convention, though, because they're not read pop. They actually care about the people that are there.
Yeah.
Right. Reed Pop's the one who runs Celebration. These guys actually care, and you can talk to them. I know I introduced you guys to them, and they'll treat you like your family, like immediately. So, I mean, if you get to know them, and I don't know, it's just, I think it starts with those guys and it just kind of trickles down through. And I think that's probably one of the reasons it's such a fun event.
Like real quick, my first experience was we walk in for early badge pickup, and I'm rocking through with Ron, and of course Mr. VIP celebrity over here. And we walk in, and he's like, "Oh, there's Vanessa Marshall. I'm gonna go say hi." And I was like, "I'm sorry, like what?" So like my first, and then of course we walk up, and she's an incredibly polite lady, and like she's like, "Oh, I'm a hugger," and goes in for the hug, and it was like, this is pretty cool, man. Like, I was get like that's Hera and like Rook and all these people that I grew up watching. So it was a cool vibe, man. Just real quick.
Yeah.
It does feel different rolling around a convention with Ron. It's like a master key.
I don't know. Jimmy's a celebrity at this one, though.
Yeah.
Jimmy knows everybody that's there.
Oh, well, it was small the first year, so I got to know everybody.
Hey, that's a good thing.
Well, speaking of, you guys already kind of touched on a couple of my questions, so I'm going to take them further. Cosplay. We know the great Grand Admiral Holly was there.
Yeah.
Just put up a picture of her. Given that it's a Star Wars only convention, like you said, Jimmy, only one other than Celebration. Sometimes, I guess I'll say, like the conventions I've been to that are not just Star Wars, there's a lot of cosplay, and it feels cool to like point out a Star Wars one in the field. In this case, all your cosplay is Star Wars. So what were some memorable ones? Obviously, Holly, incredible work. But what were some memorable ones that you saw? Because I know that's something that like me and Ron love to point out and kind of rank or
the Wookiees,
remember.
man.
Ooh,
the Wookiees. Nothing makes me happier than a Wookiee.
Well, Jimmy ran into
I got these two guys,
family members, while we were there.
Yeah,
so.
Like they found me. They're taking me home. So yeah, those are incredible. But yeah, everybody is just so good at what they do. It's pretty amazing. But yeah, these guys, I think there were like 2 more Wookiees were walking around.
Yeah.
So that's pretty awesome. I think those are the 2 that really kind of like grabbed me.
There was a guy walking around, and he had the cracked Vader mask, and he had like the like from the Obi-Wan show, and it was really well done. And like I love like trying to go like fist pump somebody, and they like completely miss your hand, and like they're like, they can't see you. It's like it's just the T visor. And I remember like, hey man, that's a great costume, and I just see his eye like, shoot out. Like, thank you.
That's great.
This was a cool one.
That guy,
Trooper from Thrawn ship.
Oh, great.
Yeah, did a great job.
John, that's what you were talking about earlier?
Yeah, that's the same. That's the same guy. Like I have that same selfie. Lolo Fett, I think his name is on Instagram. Shout out.
It is cool. I haven't been to Rebel Scum Con, but it is cool as time goes on. Year after year, we get new Star Wars content. There's new cosplay. There's new like people there, obviously, that you can talk to. So I know you guys met a lot of people, but who made your short list for this round of Rebel Scum Con as like memorable people, and maybe save your favorite encounter for last?
Jimmy, you want to go?
Sure. Well, I went and this is a big shout out to Brandon. I don't know if I'm getting old. I think I am, but I was convinced that there was nothing out there for Devin and Master Docky. So I was kind of pissy about it. I'm like, I can't believe they don't have like Funkos and stuff and all this stuff. And Clan Brandalorian himself, he got me one. And I was just like, all right, he bought this for me. I'm gonna take advantage of it. I got that signed, and I got to meet her, and we're just sitting there chatting about. Like I gave her like there we go, and I gave her that little AT-AT in her hand. She's the only guest I gave one to. Mostly I gave them to little kids, but we were talking about. She asked me what I did, and I'm like, oh, I'm a teacher, and then I handed that to her. I was like, here, get bored that. So that was just pretty cool experience. And then later on, I saw her get to meet a little kid that was dressed up like Devin, and that was kind of fun to witness. But she was really friendly. I think she got sick and went home, but she was really awesome. So that was pretty cool to get to meet her and just tell her like how excited I am for season 2 and what an amazing job she did. I don't know. It's kind of fun to tell them thanks, I think.
Oh yeah.
And she seems super appreciative.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, they are actors. Maybe they're just, lying to her, but I'm just kidding. They do seem pretty appreciative. So it's kind of cool.
That's great.
That's awesome. And did you meet did you do any other autographs?
Did I? Yeah, I did. I did Docky. I met Dennis.
Okay.
Got him to sign a poster so that I'll put that up in front of his character when I get that. I did Bryce, but I'm going to save that one because that was a pretty cool experience. And I did one photo op. So, but yeah, I usually just do a couple. But I tell you what, though, that's another thing too, is like the prices down there. Like if those people go to Celebration, there'll be at least twice as much there. So it's a great con. I mean, I don't know. I didn't get Boyega or Manny, but I think the highest priced one was like $100 or something, which is insane that you're meeting like the director of, of Star Wars, actor, and all these people, Serrano from Major League. I mean, like it's just like it's crazy to me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
John, any memorable people that you got to meet?
Yeah, well, first shout out to the people in the chat because a lot of people in the chat were some people we got to meet like in person, and that was, you walk up and you have that like, hey, I know you online, and you can kind of gauge that reaction, and like everyone I met was a homie, so like I had a bunch of vibes with everyone, and like the people that we went out and got dinner with, like incredible group of people. And then on top of that, I ended up meeting, I think we met like in terms of people from shows and things like that. I met Johnny Coyne from the Mando and Grogu movie. I did, that he was an incredible dude. I met Vanessa Marshall. I met Gideon Adlin as well, and then Brandon and I did our photo op with Manny Yacenso, and I think like they were all incredible people. Everyone had their own completely distinct vibe. Gideon is close to age with myself and Brandon, so like it's easy for us to get along with her and make reference points and things like that. Vanessa is incredibly friendly. Johnny Coyne is like it's such an interesting dude, man. Like, and he like wants to talk to you and spend time with you. And then Manny was like the most shocking, where it was like he was so mellow. Like I just like what I described him as is like when you watch The Acolyte, like Kymir is Manny, like that's like calm, like very like down to earth, very mellow. He's very soft spoken, like but then he's there like wanting to talk to Brandon and I, and then the photo op guy is counting down, and I'm like, hey, like he's talking to us, like we're not talking to him, But so that was that experience for me on that one.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Jimmy, we forgot one, Jimmy.
What's that? Oh, yes. So
turn the lights off.
Yes, turn out the lights. So last year I got one with Cyril that was pretty funny. And I went up to her, I had the light switched on, and she looked at me and I go, will you pretend to turn out the switch? And she looks at me and she goes, you're being naughty. And I was like, started giggling like a schoolboy. And I was like, my wife said it's okay. And she just laughed. And then she got me this photo. That was pretty funny though. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty proud of that one.
That's good. That's real good.
But her telling me I was being naughty was probably the highlight of it. I was like, hell yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Ron, how about you?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I got to do a bunch of interviews, which was really cool. I got to hang out and see Amy Allen, Ayla Sakura for a while, and then she introduced me to Shannon, who is actually the original Mara Jade, the Legends version, but who was very cool as well. And so we got to hang out with them a little bit, and hear some stories. And the cool thing, and we're gonna get Shannon on here, but she was very excited, just to talk about the Star Wars universe. I'm not sure she gets out to these too much, but it was fun to talk to her. And she said, we were talking, if Mara Jade comes over, and she was like, I hope if she does that, she hopes that they sort of stick with that character in Legends, which is sort of cool, which hopefully would be, sort of that Palpatine right hand, and then, possibly, some relationship with Luke, but who knows if we'll even get her. But that was sort of cool just to talk to her about that. And then like Jimmy, a cool one, which I wasn't sure if I would be able to, but I did get Dennis. I did get to talk to Dennis, which was really cool. Just his demeanor. I mean, he's man, out of everybody there, I mean, he's pretty legendary for a lot of the shows that he's done. And movies and TV shows, and I mean, he's been around for a minute, so it was cool to talk to him. Who else? I got to talk to Donald Mills, which was cool. He's Embo, so that was really cool just to talk to him. He's a little bit shorter. He was telling me about how they sort of had to stretch him and stuff, and he actually the suit that he wears is interesting. I think I got it here somewhere. It's sort of cool, unless you can find it on there. Oh wait, I got it. So this is what this is like the suit that he wears, and then they have all those camera things, so they can pick up where he is and how he's moving, and I forget what they're called, those, but the things for
motion capture stuff.
Thank you. Yeah. Exactly, that's what I was going to say. The motion capture stuff.
I'm gonna need one of those suits. Rumor has it they make you taller.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the cool ones that I got, which was I thought was sort of neat, was this guy, Dean Charles Chapman, who's Master Torben from the Acolyte. He was really, really cool dude to talk to. He was very a lot younger than I thought. Still a kid, still a young kid, which was neat to talk to him, and how he got the role and what he thought it would be. So that was neat. And everybody just loves being in the Star Wars universe. Who else did I get to talk to? I got to talk to Nalini, who was Barriss Offie. That was pretty cool. And she was actually right next to Amy's. So that was sort of neat. A lot of people would come and go back and forth between the two of them, and get their signatures and stuff, and talk to them, and they hung out a lot back in the day right afterwards, like Celebration 1, 2, and 3, when they really started getting popular, and they would all go and hang out, and Shannon was part of that group as well, which was neat. I got to meet Johnny as well, which was really cool. Johnny, and like John said, I mean, what a great dude. I mean, just a cool dude. He's, is all about the villain, which was sort of neat. I thought that was sort of cool. And then I got to meet Matthew Willick. I mean, 6'8".
He was huge.
Dude, the unit. Unit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Homie walked up behind me and blocked out the sun.
I shook his hand and my whole arm disappeared. It was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
He was
huge. So if you're not familiar, he was Hog's Breath, and got a really cool that interview's up right now, and all the rest of these will be up hopefully within the next week or so. But yeah, check these interviews out. I mean, they're not long, anywhere from 3 to 6 minutes, which is fun. We were able to just chat with these people. Oh, this was actually, I got a couple more, sorry, but this was Dorian Kingley, who played Cad Bane, and I did a really cool interview with him as well, and he was talking about just because he's a stuntman, I guess is his full time. That's his gig, is being a stuntman full time. And then I got to talk to.
Ron's like, oh, I got a few more.
Oh.
Hey, I got to talk to Paul. This was one of my favorites. I was looking forward to talking to him, and he was awesome. And I told him, I'm like, dude, you're like the string that keeps the Mando verse together, because you're in everything right now. So, and I was like, so do we're gonna see you again? And he's like, well, from your lips to God's ears. And I'm like, come on, that's not an answer. But I knew he wasn't gonna say anything, which was cool.
I think that's a yes. He could just say no,
Yeah, I got to talk to a couple of the old school guys that did the props and stuff, which was really neat. This is John Goodson. And he's been around for a minute. So it was cool to talk to him, just the technical stuff and different things. And these guys are still with ILM or Lucasfilm. A lot of ILM people were there, which was really neat. And they had some really cool things going on there as well.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Did you
that
talk
was
to Bryce? Did either of you guys talk to
No.
Bryce Dallas? She was
No.
awesome. So
yeah.
yeah.
They wouldn't let me do an interview. So Max Revo.
George Lucas got to talk to Ron.
Oh boy. Yeah. But it was fun. I mean, we had a great time. And Jimmy, like you said, everybody was cool. Everybody was friendly. Everybody, there was no drama there. There weren't crazy people there. Everybody waited in line, took their time. It was really a nice, friendly and family oriented atmosphere. I mean, the amount of kids that were there, the amount of younger kids that are getting into Star Wars now makes me so happy, because it's just going to continue to go on. And that's the fun thing about that as well, is that these kids are going to start, and they can start with the animation now if they want to, and then start to get into, the OG stuff or the prequels and the sequels and more of the animation as they go along. Because before it was just, you got thrown into A New Hope, Empire, and Jedi, and it was like, oh, okay, here you go. But now with everything that we have going on, these younger kids are able to jump into it a little bit more.
Yeah, there were a lot of little kids dressed up and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. It's good for the future.
It's a lot of people you guys got to meet. Dang.
Yeah, it was fun.
Well, I guess that kind of leads in perfectly to the next question. Were there any panels? Did you attend any? And what did you learn?
Yeah, I went to the was it the Andor one we went to? I think I got dragged along wherever Tiara wanted to go. I got dragged along there, but I think we saw got to see Denise at do the Andor one. She's amazing. Like, she doesn't care. She just kind of talked about the relevance of the show. She's as PC as she could be, but she was awesome. And they just, oh man, she was phenomenal. Just talking about Star Wars. We got to see, what's his name, Kyle talk last year about it, so it was kind of cool. And then I did the behind the scenes guys. I cannot remember their names right now, but those guys and those people, those men and women who like behind the scenes of Star Wars, like the stuff that they're responsible for, it blows my mind every time. Like, he's like, oh, this will be cool, but then they just tell you stories of things that are just like, what, like how they managed to do something. Like the one guy, I think, like, he was in high school and he met these people and was getting a job. He just walked in and had a job because he was like, oh yeah, just looked it up in the phone book and I went over. I was calling so-and-so because his name was in the phone book. And for you guys, Ron and I know what a phone books are, but they used to put everyone's names in these big books, but yeah, the stories are incredible. I didn't go to as many panels. I don't know about you guys. I didn't go to as many panels as I had wanted to, but we just had so many different things going on.
Yeah.
So, but the panels there are always awesome.
Yeah. Well, even like Holly had said, she missed a couple panels because she was waiting in line for autographs, and that's part of it. You don't just get to walk in and get somebody's autograph and go turn around and get the next person's autograph. I mean, you got to wait in line. You got to be able to do that. So it'll be, you're going to miss some things. So that's the thing. It's like, you have to, all right, if I really want to go to this Acolyte panel, then, they're going to have to, maybe get Bryce Dallas Howard's autograph later, or maybe tomorrow. And wait in line then. So it's you have to go through, and that's what I like about most of the conventions have this stuff online, so you can go and sort of figure that out beforehand. So it's pretty cool.
They will post everything too.
Yeah,
I was at the two panels we did, or at least that I got to attend on the flip side with the Force of Others podcast,
awesome.
And those guys for the sequels appreciation, like that was a great that was a great panel. Those guys were spitting bars most of the time. Like, I love to hear those guys talk. And then the cosplay panel with Crafting on Ilum and Lady of the Lake ? I think it's her name. Lady of the Country. Okay, yeah. And like, when I'm asking like how long goes into cosplayers, and I'm in my mind, I'm like, oh, like, like 30 hours or something like that. And they're like, oh, like 6 months. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll never do that. Like, cool. Good to reaffirm that.
Brandon, what is up?
Yo,
It's like
what's
it-
good?
It's like you snuck in here.
I know. I wanted to let you guys continue what you're talking about because I don't know where we're at. But hey, Palpatine gave me power, and I'm back. I'm back right now.
You're welcome.
What's going on? What's going on?
We're talking panels.
Oh, nice.
But
Yes.
before we do that, how'd you enjoy Rebel Scum Con?
Dude, it was amazing, man. Jimmy's tried to get me to go the last 2 years. So finally going this year was super, super fun. And I knew, with John and I and our channel, I was just like, you know what? We got to go out there. We got to meet everybody. And yeah, we had one more spot open up, and I was just like, I know one person. There's two people, actually. There's either Skywalking Ryan or Ron. Like, it has to be one of these two. And it ended up being Ron. So it was just insane to, finally meet everybody. But usually I don't like Comic-Cons. I just don't. I've been to a couple, but I'm not huge into it. But this one being all Star Wars, I'm going every year from now on. So like, love it. So I had a great time. It was so fun.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was neat to meet other content creators as well. Like you were talking about the Force of Others, and again, I'm sorry, I always forget. Is it Talia? I know she's on here, right?
Tiara.
Tiara. I got to meet Tiara, which was cool because we had done a podcast together before, and just meeting the content creators that were there and being able to talk to them and stuff and listen to them, which was cool, and meet them because everybody's just a huge Star Wars fan, and those were the fun things as well, along with the roomies that I got.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Ron, I will say you got me eating kiwis and pretzels. We went to Walmart, we did our run, and I'm like, dude, I gotta get these golden
carrots.
kiwis, and I've been
The carrot
smashing them.
sticks.
That's why Ron looks so good, because he eats good.
2 a.m. He's over there eating carrot sticks. Dog.
Yeah, we did have
Ron's
we had
workout
fun.
time is like 3 or 4 in the morning.
Yeah,
Nuts.
yeah.
That's when I just fell asleep, especially this weekend. I was falling
Yeah.
asleep like 2, 3.
Yeah, there was a couple late nights, and but it wasn't too bad. Jimmy doesn't snore too bad. Not too loud. He didn't keep me up too much.
You're welcome.
So panels sounded fun. I want to circle back to part of that question was, did you guys learn anything that was worth kind of like bringing home? I don't know, maybe to your own channels, reporting stuff, or was it all just kind of cool to hear stories and whatnot?
The only thing that I didn't get to any panels, which sort of stinks. I missed one. I missed the Vanessa Marshall one and the Bryce Dallas Howard. I really wanted to try to catch them, and both of those were Sunday, and I messed up the times big time. But I know, and Mike had talked about it, and Holly had brought it up. The only thing that I know that I heard secondhand from these guys is Holly had, I think, asked a question during the Bryce Dallas Howard, panel, and Bryce had said that this season 2 of Ahsoka is going to be sort of a little bit more revolving around Thrawn, which will sort of be cool. And I think we talked a little bit about it last night, but I thought that was sort of interesting, which I thought of that anyways, because as we get into this, there's definitely going to be 2 stories as we get into Ahsoka. You're going to have the Thrawn and Hera and Chopper and Ezra, and then you're going to have the Sabine and Ahsoka and Baylan, on Peridia. So, but to hear her say that, I think it's also sort of leaning that when we're done with this, Thrawn's going to sort of come out on top as the new bad guy as we continue down the next few years. So that's the only thing that I really heard. I didn't know if you guys had heard anything in any of the panels you went to or things like that.
Standing in line for Bryce Dallas Howard, she was talking to the guy in front of me and was like, yeah, it's going to be super heavy on lore. Like it was a bad thing. And the guy's like, no, I love that. And he's like, yeah, me too.
More.
Yeah. So I heard her say that, and then to hear the kind of, when she's saying it multiple times, it makes me pretty excited for Ahsoka season 2.
Yes.
But
yeah, that's what we
Hey
want.
Nick, can we circle back? And Brandon, I want to hear about your you got to meet a few people. We had already talked about who we all met, but I know you had met a few people and had some pretty cool experiences.
Yeah. I mean, I got to do all of those with John here. So John went off, and I know he did Vanessa Marshall, got that. Also went off and went to Johnny Coyne, but then we circled back with the photo op. So it was really cool. The first one, we got to talk to Gideon Adlon, and that was really cool. We got the photo with her. Dude, she's just like, the energy is just through the roof. And I don't know if it's just, or like, does Star Wars pick the right actors and actresses like to fill these roles, because everyone is so cool. The 4 people that I've met in Star Wars that have been actors or actresses or worked on it, all of them just amazing energy. But yeah, Gideon was amazing, really cool. Definitely told her like, hey, love the character of Devon Izara, just can't wait to see what's next for her. That was cool. I think I still have a welt on my back from Johnny Coyne slapping my back. Because he's like, what are we doing, guys? You know, and like me and John were like, hey, whatever. I remember John exactly was just like, whatever you want, big dog. You know, so it was but that Johnny Coyne's right hand, I still feel the imprint on my back. It hurts. But yeah, he slapped me down. You know, but real cool. And you know, John and I have actually talked to him a few times. We're still trying to get him to poke onto our show here soon, so hopefully we can manifest that into happening. He's just a really good guy, so that was nothing surprising there. But then once we met Manny Jacinto a couple hours after that, that dude is just he's on one, man. He's really, really cool. You know, and that's the thing, is some of those characters mean so much to me. You know, they're not big characters yet, you know, just because they've only been in either one show or one series, one movie. But you know, we also had to let him know, like, dude, like, we love your character, and we know, like, I put emphasis on, I know we're going to see you again. And he just kind of stared at me for a second and was just like, yep, it was great to meet you guys. You know, so like those little things like that, where I'm just like, you know, that could have meant anything, but at the same time, it was great, man. Just the experience alone was awesome, celebrity wise, but meeting all the other creators, fans, like, it was insane. There was 2 people that came up to me and was just like, Brandon, claim Brandalorian. I'm just like, damn, that's crazy, you know. So just a lot of those interactions, they were really, really cool.
That's awesome. And again, you know, we've shouted out everybody here, but I want to do it again. Everybody, I'm sure it was pretty insane to see everybody from your channels, from the chat, other creators, people who are in the chat right now. I mean, John already alluded to it, but like, what is that like to see the people you know? Wow, look at that.
Jimmy's famous.
Look how enthralled he is.
He's up there with Star Wars Explained. Yeah, he's having a blast.
The zoom in's crazy.
Yeah, I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous.
Molly's like,
gosh.
yeah, whatever, dude.
She's like, who's this fool? And the guy beside me, people probably don't recognize him, but that's the kid from Caravan of Courage. Like, that's the first Mace from those Ewok movies.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was fun. Like, and low key, Molly was like answering like every single question under her breath when it wasn't her turn, and I was getting them all right. Like, I was like, dang, girl, like, you just here's the microphone. Yeah, so she was pretty awesome. But I was real nervous being paired with those 3. I was like, come on, man.
They were sitting over here with the whatever that means.
Oh my god, that's such a good meme.
Man, I didn't even know you could zoom on this thing. Thanks, Ron.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Ron.
We had to do a little, you know, watch, you know.
No, that's for Brandon's wife, though. That was special.
Yeah. For anyone who doesn't know, my wife hates Solo. It's actually crazy.
Wow.
So then I take heat from other creators, you know, like Fulcrum Noah. That dude sucks, but he will always bash me, saying I'm a D1 Solo hater, which I love Solo. It's just not in my top 5. I don't know what else you want from me, but I was just like, oh God, guys, take a picture right now. And I remember exactly. She texted me back, awesome. So, love to see it.
Oh,
Why does she
Skywalker
hate?
has that video. Yeah, we need to see that video, Ryan. That would be pretty fun.
A side question: how many Star Wars films were played in that Airbnb last weekend?
Ooh, well, it was Empire first before we
Yeah.
got there, and then I think did Solo autoplay or did Manny pick that?
I'm not sure.
I
I
don't
don't know
know.
if it
And then-
autoplayed or not.
If it was on,
Once-
it was Star Wars, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we also got to see the Airbnb lady's camera. That was weird.
Oh.
That was weird.
Yeah,
you
we were
know,
watching TV and like up in the corner, like it is over there, that little screen, the Star Wars Jedi chat thing. It was like a little screen there, and it was like, what is that? And then it was like all of a sudden it was like a camera that was behind something, and then you could see somebody wandering around. And it was like, oh my God, what the? And then it went away. But I was like, that was sort of weird. We're all looking around going, are you watching us too, or what?
It was the feds,
Yeah,
dude. The
it said
feds.
camera loading, and we were like, what camera? We're all like freaking out, like, what the hell?
We thought she was like spying on us.
Yeah. Which, I mean, you just would have saw 4 dudes standing in a kitchen eating. So
Yeah,
Talking about Star Wars.
I've been a real
Nerds.
boring feed.
Ma'am,
Oh,
if you're in the
got some
chat,
more-
please identify yourself.
More friends here.
yeah,
More
yeah.
content creators.
There we go.
Yeah.
Really cool. Shout out all of them too. It was great.
Yeah.
It was a really good time.
Yeah, it was. It was really fun just because like I said, everybody was happy, everybody was excited to be there, excited to see the stars and the actors and actresses, and nobody was getting out of hand or anything, and it was just a fun atmosphere and a very family friendly atmosphere as well. And the hours weren't too long, and come and go, and honestly, Jimmy, like you had said before, for like autographs and stuff, but even the entry and the admission and the VIP, they're really not that expensive compared to some of these other cons that you go to, especially Celebration. But it was really cool to see that they're sort of gauging it to all of us, that so we can go and have a good time and not spend a fortune to be there. So that's a plus, I think, for sure as well, and hopefully that will continue to grow, because it's a mini celebration. You're just, you're not going to see Dave wandering around, but you might see Hayden in a year or two. Who knows? I mean, I'm sure they had some big names there. I mean, Bryce Dallas Howard. I mean, even Dennis. Like I said, he might not be big in the Star Wars universe, but I mean, he's a huge actor. He's got a great resume, and and everybody. John Boyega was there. So again, you got a lot of stuff going on with him. Him talking to Filoni now. So something's brewing over there.
Love
That
it.
actually is a great segue to my next question. A fun or sensitive question, depending how the weekend went. What'd you buy? I see all that stuff for all of you. I see all that stuff behind you. How much of that came from the convention?
I feel like John has to go first. That dude left with like an entire Fortnite loot crate.
Yeah, I forgot.
I'm surprised he fit.
Oh, there he
everything.
goes.
Okay, hold on. Because the big thing was, let me talk about my most expensive purchase of the weekend. My rental car getting towed from the Airbnb spot. And shout out to Jimmy and Brandon at 12:50 on Saturday in the morning, driving my ass to the impound lot and then helping me get my car out. So the $300 I spent on that was the most expensive thing that I bought. But in terms of artwork and etc. Yeah, Ron was like, the key's on the counter if you need anything, and I was like, "Where's my car? Where's my car, dude?
Dude, where's my car?"
Yeah. Anyways, but I got a couple things from what was his name? John. Now, yeah, is Johnny KC on Instagram, but I got a little Grogu, and then a Boba Fett as well. So
Nice.
had to do it for the channel tag. With the Bad Batch, I had Crosshair,
Ooh,
Yeah, those are
and then
money.
Echo.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So
Rest in
those were
peace.
sweet.
Sorry.
And I think the only other things besides my the autographs with Johnny, and then Vanessa was
Yeah.
So cool.
I had Gideon and Manny sign their lightsabers.
That's freaking awesome, dude.
So for example, I have the Manny signature, and then on the back, he put "I just want freedom."
Nice.
And shout out to a convention experience, because I was standing in line, and it was $20 extra to get the signature. And I was like, "Oh, yeah, cool. Just let me tap it," because that's what we had been doing. And they're like, "Oh, no, cash only." And the guy behind me, uh, shout out Tyler, I think his name is. But he hands me $20, and he's like, "Hey, man, get your signature. At a convention in the future, some kid will be standing in front of you, and he'll want something, and pay it forward." And I was like, "Appreciate it,
Damn.
man." Like tearing up a little bit. So like doing what I
man.
got to do. So like that's where I'm at with my stuff, and then a bunch of stickers and like like a bracelet and things like that. So
Here, show that again.
it's the bracelet with a Rebel. Oh my God, it actually says Rebel
there we
Scum
go.
on it. Cool little colors.
Sweet.
Shout out Jedi Knight Victoria. So
Sweet.
appreciate that. But yeah,
Talk about the community coming together. It's a
Yeah.
heartwarming story. I feel like that happens a lot for the most part at Celebration too. So I imagine with a much closer feel and like warmer feel, it sounds like, of Rebel Scum, that everyone's just looking out for each other. It's a good time. But
Yeah.
very cool. What else did you guys buy?
Jimmy, did you get anything?
I mostly just got like the autographs and the signatures and stuff like that. Like that's kind of where my money went. I mean, you can see behind me, and Brandon's seen my basement. I have a lot of stuff, so I was just kind of like, I've just been trying to get Funko signed and things like that. But last year I bought a few things. A couple of vendors that some amazing stuff. I would buy art for days if I could.
Yeah.
I just have nowhere to put it right now, and I have like stacks over here of stuff that I can't put up on the wall right now. So I'm like, this, it's tough to. I love it. I want to support those people, but I just don't have the space right now. But I got a new classroom, so we'll see what happens.
There you go.
Nice.
You got the UCS Death Star just behind your desk at work.
Well, that's
It's a
I might have to
reimbursement.
go there. I don't know.
Employee
That's-
reimbursement for the class.
That thing's got to go on the desk. They can hear you.
So, yeah.
Brandon,
Hell yeah. I left with 4 Funko Pops, which
there you go.
was a huge steal for me because I'm kind of like Ron in a way where I'm kind of selective now just because I have so many. It's like the ones I won are ones I either missed out on when they dropped before I started collecting, or they're ones that are just like, because Funko's cooking right now in all fandoms, but Star Wars lately, like there's a new Commander Cody coming out next month. Got to have like all those new ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was able to get 4 really good ones. Damn. All right. Yeah, I finally got a Shore Trooper. I got Dark Side Ray, which there's also a video on our vlog. We go up to this Funko stand, John and I. John's like, "Damn, bro, look at this Vader," and it was a red box Vader, and I was like, "Damn, man, look at this Dark Side Ray." And it was just like, like our priorities were just so different. But then I also got Quill, and then I also got Mr. Grand Moff Tarkin from the Smuggler's Crate. So I got some good ones, and those were the 2 that I got in the Funko video that Ron and I did.
Yeah.
So that was pretty fun. And man, what else did I get? I
Got a lot of stuff from Buc-ee's.
Yeah, we got quite a bit from Buc-ee's. Yeah. Shout out Buc-ee's and their breakfast burritos. God, man, they're fire.
With the 300 item ingredient list.
Oh man, yeah, for real. We got those Buc-ee nuggets, and I'm looking at the back like, yeah, none of this is good for me. So, well, we'll just enjoy.
Buc-ee nuggets.
But yeah, I think that was it really. And then shout out, Jimmy did a lot too. driving us down there, trailing us around, the little part of Frisco. So, we got the best chauffeur in the galaxy, as he let me know on the latest YouTube video. And then John hooked me up with a poster. I'll pull that up real quick, actually.
Nice.
And
John shout out to the pricing.
This was pretty cool. I mean, mine was free because you said there was like a wrinkle.
That's pretty awesome.
Dang.
Yeah,
that looks amazing.
I like the bottom of that.
The artist, Russell Walks. He's a Russell Walks he's a licensed artist for Star Wars and for like he's done a bunch of that stuff. And I'm over there and I'm like, oh, I'll take the Vader, and he's going through them and he's like, oh, this one's like a little bit bent, so I'm just gonna give you another one for free, like give it to your friend or something. I was like, cool. So I walked back as we were at the vendor booth. So I walked back to the Saber Company booth and I see Brandon. I'm like, hey, dude, I got you a poster.
That's awesome. That's
usually, dude, I know. I still need to go to Hobby Lobby and get a frame for it. So, but yeah, other than that, I didn't really buy too much. Since we're still shouting out, shout out Ron. First night we go out to eat, and for some reason Ron's the only one scribbling out a ticket with his card, and we're just like, oh yeah, we'll take our ticket. And then, Ron's like, on me tonight. And we're all just like, F you, Ron. What are you doing? It was like nice. It was the nicest. It was the nicest
super family-friendly restaurant we went to.
He went from
excellent.
He went from snacking on the edamame to scribbling out that ticket real quick.
Yeah, this is where the fun begins.
Got to get up pretty early to get ahead of Ron.
There's no chance. I just have to stay up, pull an all-nighter to get up before Ron.
We had to wake Brandon up every morning, I think.
First night, I had a little too much spotchka to where I was like, oh, I need to lay down a little bit longer. And John's just like, hey, Brandon. I'm like, yup. And then the next day it was Jimmy, the first day it was John. Brandon, 8:15. Yup. Then the next day, Jimmy's like, hey, and I was like, uh-huh. So yeah, I'm ready to go. I just gotta hop up, get out of bed, and ready to go.
Well, speaking of spotchka, tell us all about Boonta Eve.
What about it?
No, it was
Ron. You tell us about Boonta.
It was packed. We came over. I came over with Amy, and we went up into the little booth area where all the VIPs and all the actors and actresses were and stuff, which is cool. But it was still packed up there as well. I mean, it was just like I was like, nah, I'm not staying here very long, because when we pulled in, you guys were all leaving, so it was I was looking forward to hanging out with them. And then it was just a cluster. But then we got to spend some cool time together and hang out, which was fun. And yeah, just trying to get up and walk quietly out to go work out in the morning without waking up Jimmy, but he's usually already up anyways. So,
Nice.
But it was fun. So
it was cool. I mean, I think the big thing was if you could get a table and get set, it was going to be a good time. We showed up 45 minutes, an hour late-ish. And so by that point, it was you couldn't even get standing room, basically. It was you could do the walk around looking for something. But other than that, it was so packed out and great for them. Cause people were having a good time. People were going crazy on karaoke. I heard one of the most wild renditions of an AC/DC song. I took a little bit of a video, and it was shout out to that guy because he was just letting loose. But yeah, so people were having a great time. It was just if you could get set, you were good. If not, it was you were just in a blender.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike, what would we call this, Mike? You got to give us we all moved in together. But you and Nick got to come in too. You and Nick got to come into the house as well. So
the Sarlacc pit.
For real.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah,
I got a couple things which like me and Brandon were talking about, we have to sort of start to, and Jimmy, you as well, have to sort of reel it back a little bit sometimes, because there's so much new stuff coming out, and it's the bittersweet part of it, especially for me, because I do like to, like Brandon, it's like, okay, Cody's coming out next week, got to get it. Whatever's coming out the week after, got to get it. The pre-order, okay, we got to pre-order it. So what I've been sort of doing is sort of just reeling back and trying to go for more of the classic stuff in the 70s and 80s. I did get this one. I did get Salacious, which is pretty cool. This is actually a 3D printed one, which is pretty freaking cool. But I mean, the detail on it was awesome. So I saw that the first day and I was like, hey, do you guys have a couple of them? And they're like, no, that's the only one. I said, all right, I'll be back tomorrow. I want that. So they were really cool enough to save it for me. And then I did get some really cool, I got some stuff getting mailed to me, but I got this. I got to move my microphone a little bit, but this is pretty bad.
Oh,
wow.
I had that when I was a kid, man. Holy rip. That's in like 1983, 84 time period. Yep.
So
that's so sick.
And then you gotta have C3PO from 77 as well. So yeah, it's
OG.
whole hookah and everything, which is pretty cool.
Love it.
But yeah, I got that, and then I got a couple things mailed to me. I actually got, I don't know what they call it nowadays. The one that I bought was called Slave One, and it's getting mailed to me. So it's the 1983 one as well, which is pretty cool. Yeah.
Ron dropped some cash this weekend.
No, actually, it was really good because I didn't get them in the boxes. I got them out because I'm gonna actually when you I think Brandon was talking, I got up and I went over to get this because I already put it in one of my display cases. And that's the thing that I was looking for, is these open box ones, and they don't have to be in mint condition. I don't want the one, like the $1,500 one, or $675 for this. So, and that's why I was like, I don't want it to be in pristine, because I'm going to display it and it's going to, come in and out and, maybe get moved around a little bit, but it's just there to be displayed. I'm not going to sell it. Whoever gets the collection, you better have a big ass room. But yeah, that was fun. And again, like I said at the beginning, that was the cool part for me, with just everything being Star Wars. So everywhere you went, it was the Star Wars posters, the Star Wars art, the collectibles, the Legos, everything was Star Wars. So you had a really cool variety, and you had stuff from 77 up to, stuff that was released probably a couple days before we even got there, which was.
Did you guys see those lightsabers out of wood? The guy turns them. You guys see that, guys?
Yeah,
I think he was over by the saber company.
I've seen that guy on Instagram.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think it's the Bandalorian. Yeah,
that's impressive.
The best wood in the galaxy is their slogan.
I know, his stickers were hilarious. I was like, oh my god, he gave me a couple. Yeah, there it is. The best wood in the galaxy.
Mine's on my MacBook as we speak.
Yeah, oh my god, super nice.
That's pretty good.
I was debating putting that on my water bottle. I don't know if I can get away with it.
Yeah. Someone at the gym's like, this guy.
This guy's a creep.
Well, on that note, the big question, here it comes. Ron, you already kind of got into it, but kind of the main reason why we're all here, we all want to know if you have a favorite part. What was it for each of you? And then a little more touchy-feely, what did it mean to you to go to this convention? Obviously we all love Star Wars and like with our lives and would love this no matter what, but what did it mean specifically to you? What were you feeling? But first off, favorite part.
Man, that's tough.
Who's first? Who's going?
I was like, who's ripping the Band-Aid?
Brandon, you want to go?
Yeah, I'll go.
Right.
Me personally, I do think that the best part was, I think, just meeting everybody. I think that was the coolest thing. You can even ask Jimmy the whole ride down there. I'm like, I hope this person's really cool, or I hope this person is like actually how they are. And it was cool. Like everyone turned out to be really cool. And there's people that we've had on podcasts or just like talked to, but on their podcasts and just even in DMs, it was really cool to finally meet everybody. And I mean, even just like Holly in the comments, like it was like I saw her from a mile away, and I was just like, oh my God, like that, there she is, and like that happened like 10 different times where you're just like, wow, like, and we all like don't really know each other like on a personal level. I mean, some of us do. But for the most part, we just all meet up and we're just having fun. And it's like, we've always known each other. So that was the cool thing. That's what made it easy. So that's probably my favorite part, was just finally meeting everyone. But yeah, that's my favorite part right there. That's my favorite part for sure.
Yeah, I
That's
think
great.
I second that. I think it was a great time. The five of us had a cool time together, which was fun because just knowing you guys, I knew that we would, get along, but I just wasn't sure how everything was just going to flow and stuff. But I thought it flowed very well. And like I said at the beginning, it was fun just to like when we all got together. I mean, we didn't talk about anything but Star Wars, which I thought was freaking awesome. And we were able to bounce things off of each other and talk about, predictions and whatever it was. But the five of us that were hanging out there was really cool. And yeah, absolutely, Brandon, to meet some of the people that you guys already knew. I was able to meet them for the first time the night we went out to dinner with what's the name of their podcast?
The Force of Others.
Yeah. Great dudes. I mean, the gentleman that was sitting next to me, I mean, we were just chatting it up, and he lives in New York, and the other two guys, I think are right there in Houston or near Houston or in Texas or Dallas or wherever. And just everybody else that we got to meet was really cool. And nobody was, disappointing or, being a jerk to anybody else. Cause we see that as we, on other content channels and stuff like that, which it's not it's not worth our time to do that. And I thought that was really fun just for all of us to finally get to meet each other and to have that family oriented convention. It was a really cool convention. It didn't seem like it was overwhelming. So I thought that was a good analogy for sure, Brandon. I feel the same way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think, just to kind of pile on too, was like, this is my third year in that circle. I've got the tight knit, like TR and I kind of hung out a ton that first year, and then Manny came and we hung out, we come back together, and then it just kind of like more people get pulled into that. But as that circle, like with you guys and everyone else that we kind of bring in, all that negativity that we see online kind of goes away because our algorithms and stuff we're following each other. And I just love that aspect of it. Because we're all down there. We all love Star Wars. I mean, we went to that panel, to support the Force of Others podcast. I wasn't like, how's this going to go? Like sequel appreciation. I left there in such a great mood. You know what I mean? Like it was awesome. It was one of the best like non-guest panels I've ever seen. So those guys really knocked it out of the park. But I'll have to say my favorite was the 10 hours I got to spend with Brandon in my car. So we should have just recorded that nonsense we talked about everything. It was pretty awesome. I usually drive down by myself listening to some audio book or something, but spending 10 hours with Brandon, he probably hates me now, but
Jimmy sucks. No, that was a good time, just because I was also thinking the same, like the drive there, like we've already hung out a million times. It would be different if any, like, I don't even know who else, like as an example, but it's just like going with another creator or even just another Star Wars fans. It's just like, okay, what's a 10-hour trip going to be like with this person? Because it's either going to be real bad or it's going to be real good. But yeah, since we've hung out plenty of times, it's just like, okay, it's going to be a good drive there. And it's also going to be a good drive back. But yeah, I mean, I feel like the first time we were talking all about Rebel Scum, and then on the way back, we talked a little bit about Rebel Scum, but then it was like, okay, what's happening next? What's going on in Star Wars? So
we should have recorded that. That's for sure.
Yeah. Prop up the damn camera next time. We'll figure it out.
That would have been cool. You guys driving back and just having a podcast while you were driving home.
Yeah,
that would have been
fun.
sick.
Definitely my best trip. It went fast too. I don't know Like
Real
usually
quick.
that drive feels like an eternity, but it was like, bam, it was over. We just chatting Star Wars the whole dang time.
Yep.
Crazy things happen on Bucky Nuggets.
Yeah. What are those things laced with, man?
For real.
I really
John?
like the I was gonna say I really like the I mean I could say the same thing, like everybody was incredible. The group we were with was a fantastic hang. Um, like the close knit where they have activities after where they're like encouraging everybody to go out to um oh good, whether it's Boonta or Dave and Buster's the next night, and it's like, you're having those experiences with those people that you've never, seen before. It's a real group of friends when, Tiara brought it up when they're taking pictures of me falling asleep at dinner, and then I swear I was out asleep, and I heard someone say something about like it was either the Steelers or the NFL, and that woke me up like a trance. And I was right back in it. So it was like, I just need to take a power nap at dinner just for a quick 5 minutes. But no, it was just like, I don't know if it'll ever be replicated again, in my mind. It's like I'm gonna have such high expectations going forward where I kinda think I have to put the expectations behind. But, it was also a little bit different where it was, Brandon and I were there as part of the Saber company. So it's like, we got in as vendors and it's like, we were able to do things a little bit differently than maybe I would have been as just like a first time fan that was going. But no, it was incredible. And so like, good time seeing incredible celebrities that I've watched on screen for years. And, like you guys have brought up the cost and autographs and things like that. And it's like, to be able to see Vanessa Marshall and then to go see Manny and do those things. And then, and then go straight from there to Dave and Buster's and watch my friends who I know they don't like IPAs forcefully drink IPAs. And then, I'm playing like we're doing Mario Kart where all of us, myself, Ryan, there were a couple, I think, Jimmy, a couple other guys, we all won our races. Tiara got second, I think. So that was funny to
Can't reach
watch.
the pedals, man.
That she needed the brick, dude, the wooden block. Brandon's over there getting basketballs jammed. So it's like,
Yeah.
we're shooting those little pea shooters. So like it was just like what a trip. And so like I think that was like as I was driving to the airport Sunday morning after getting my rental car out, besides the anger in that aspect. Um like after we'd gotten back real quick, like Brandon and I sat outside and talked for like an hour and a half. So it was like, 2:30 when we really get to bed. And it's like I think back on our late nights, like the driving with Ron in his spaceship because they gave him like a BMW, like all these different things, and like I'm driving away from the trip, and I'm just like dude, what a trip! Like what a vacation, like I came here in my mind on business purposes, didn't film nearly as much as I told myself I was going to. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna film, walk around, take pictures, do all this stuff. I didn't do any of that. So it was a great time, and I just come back and I'm like, oh man, it's a year until that's over again, and I'm sitting here with you guys where it's like, when's the next, like, forget the con, like when are we all getting together again? Like when are we all just traveling to Nashville or something like that? So yeah.
Come on.
I was
We're
gonna say
here.
Nashville. I'm excited to go to places that I've never been, and it's because of the Star Wars stuff. I never thought I'd. The last time I was in Dallas was for a JUCO basketball jamboree back in 2015. So it's been 11 years since I've been to Dallas, and it was for a Star Wars convention. So that's kind of cool to say.
Yeah.
And it was just a blast. So yeah, Nashville. Like I told Ron, I can't wait to get a $19 Jack and Coke, but it'll be worth it because it's in Nashville.
Yeah. And that's during
Good
happy hour.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna
single
say,
or
we
double.
can find you as many of those as you want.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, for all we've been through with the fandom, or at least the perceptions of the fandom, hearing about this weekend is a great reminder that the fandom is actually alive and well, and that the community is strong as it's always been, despite the small but loud, presence on the internet. And I for one would like to say, I'm sure everyone in the chat would say, what a perfect representation of our community that we're building on these platforms, that you four were there kicking it at this awesome event. And honestly, I mean, everybody who watches tonight is going to want to sign up for this con, without a doubt. And we have you guys to thank for it. So glad you guys had a great time.
Yeah, and I appreciate all these guys. I mean, Jimmy, like Brandon said, Jimmy had texted me and was like, "Hey, we got a spot," and I was like, "Yeah, I'd love to," because again, it was just fun hanging out, talking Star Wars, and meeting everybody, because no matter what else we do in life, and all of us, all 5 of us, and everybody here, we all have different lives and different jobs and things we do, but that Star Wars community brings us together, with Clan Fett and Explore the Force and our channel and a guy who loves Star Wars and all these really cool podcasts and content creators that are out there making it positive Star Wars stuff and talking about predictions and what's going to go on and what's coming up with Ahsoka and Maul season 2 and Starfighter and Simon Kinberg and all this new stuff that's coming out. It's just so fun to talk about it and be able to get in something like this and be on a podcast or in a chat somewhere or at a convention and talk Star Wars with similar minded people that are not hating on it or don't know what it is, or they're a huge Marvel fan and they've seen Star Wars. It's just fun to be with everybody, and I think Jimmy said it, we met each other and we all just hit it off and we were friends like that. It was crazy.
Awesome.
So
it was awesome.
Yeah. Me and John had some good times.
My man Ron, dog.
Yeah.
I got all sappy out in the car one day. I was like, I met a lot of people, man. I've never gotten along as well with like you guys that I have with a certain group of strangers. Like, just being put all together where it's like, hey, none of you guys, well, you guys, we all have face value, but like no one knows each other outside, and it's just like we're gonna mesh each other into an Airbnb for this weekend and see what happens. And it was just guys being dudes, and it was just a great time, man.
Yep. Like Holly says, if anybody gets a chance to go, do it. It's a good time, and that would be fun too. Again, run into some of you guys. It was great when I went up to New York or to Boston and met Mike and Holly and her husband and a lot of other Star Wars fans that were up there. It's just a fun community, and to be able to meet some of the people that come on our channel each week and have questions and things like that, it's fun too. So yeah, definitely and Star Wars Celebration is going to be great. I think it's going to be awesome. It's it's just going to be 10 times bigger than what we were just at, But the one thing with that is we will get, obviously, because you have Lucasfilm and Star Wars and everything, you get all the new information that's coming out, like tomorrow, with the D23, hopefully we'll get some of these, trailers or some more leaks and some, stuff that shouldn't be leaked, but whatever, hopefully we'll get some stuff. But and then in Celebration is when they come out and and talk about, they don't do that here, but it's like I said, it's more of a family friendly oriented, but you have the big stars that are there, and Jimmy, I'm sure you can attest to the first 2 years they had some pretty good stars there as well, correct?
Yeah, I mean, it's from the get-go. It's funny how it's grown, because like the first year was Ahmad Best. He was like the ringer, which he's great. Like, I mean, I always say, I don't love Jar Jar, but I love Ahmad Best, like his story and him, and then just kind of grown and grown and grown. And I kind of second what Ron said. Like, I've been to the last 5 celebrations. I've been to all 3 of these cons. The only thing that Star Wars Celebration really does have over RSC is the fact that they do have those panels where they can drop all that information. Do you know what I mean? I honestly, like, I mean, I can't think of what is better, than RSC as far as just, being at a convention and things like that. Like, it really is just like, you're not going to get, this is coming out in a year or anything like that, but you can get some really good insight afterwards, and they'll be pretty honest with you and, chatting with them. So if you want to go to a con, I'd say go to this one and then, try your luck. I mean, you can't even get into Celebration half the time, but, yeah, I would definitely say come to this con, and it's going to get bigger. It may, I don't know if it'll lose it. I have been worried that it'll lose it, but every year it's gotten bigger, but it still feels like we're all still there together. Do you know what I mean? So it's been
Yeah.
kind of cool. And I hope everyone has that experience there. Like, I hope it's not, you know what I mean? Like, I hope there's nobody that's just kind of like floating around there. Like, everybody there wants to talk Star Wars and is happy to help. And like John had that experience. And, you know, I was sitting down and you just meet someone, we just start talking and we have all kinds of things in common. You know, we just start chatting, stuff like that. So it's just a great, great time, great people. And it doesn't really, like, I know some people are like, oh, it's not Celebration, but honestly, the only thing it's missing is, you know, Dave Filoni dropping some news.
Yeah.
Well, we are going to drop some news now, and
Some breaking news.
Some breaking news. It comes from Mike, a guy who loves Star Wars, and this is what we got right now, folks.
Where is it?
Where is it?
What?
So does that come with a trailer too?
We can
Where's it
see
at?
Snowy Anakin.
Yeah. This is interesting.
Oh.
Huh.
Hey, yo. So 100% Clone Wars flashbacks will be happening.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's money, dude. I need it. TR, I need you to make me. I need a cosplay.
6 months
6
from
months.
Yeah.
Dude.
I put my order in right now, right?
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Thanks,
Man,
Mike.
That's going to be so
Thanks,
fire,
Mike.
bro.
You've been on vacation. Mike's doing the Star Wars thing.
God's work.
Bro.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
And more to come, I assume, starting tomorrow.
Yep, there's the fig.
Oh,
There's
wait,
the
let's
fig.
see. Hold on.
There's the
Identical.
fig.
That dude.
Yep.
What happened in that episode?
They had to side with the native species
The big
against the political
ice
people who were
monsters.
claiming that it was their planet, and it was
The
like, no, it's not.
Pantorans, right?
Yeah, thank you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that girl grows up to be on the council. Yeah, the daughter.
Chuchi.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
that's
you.
where Chuchi comes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Ah,
Choo-choo.
yes, cool. Bad Batch legend.
Yeah.
From Nathan. How much leave tonight? No,
That's
we're all
the
trying
funny
to
part.
figure
You
out-
don't.
Take a lesson
not
from all
going
the
to.
boys in here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
gentlemen, anything you'd like to add about your experience before we sign off?
Well, I will. I feel like the last thing I got to say is exactly what Mike says. Is like, yeah, why on earth what does this have to do with Ahsoka season 2? You know, like what? You know, I don't know. It's gonna be something crazy. Maybe if I was to take a guess, and I know we're talking about Rebel Scum Con, but maybe Sabine is telling, or Ahsoka's telling Sabine something that's going on, and she basically gets the flashback to that, you know, Clone Wars arc, and then we get to see that, and then of course Hayden in that suit with the fur hood. Are you kidding me? Let's go. I need a Funko now. Funko, listen to us, please.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty badass.
But with Rebel Scum Con, I feel like we've talked about enough. I loved it.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
Can't wait to do it again. Everyone was cool. The vibes were great. The fans were great. Saber Company was great. Food was great. It was just good. It was all great. It was good.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well said.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on, you know, and having us. I know we're over on Clan Fett, Clan Brandalorian. So appreciate you guys jumping on here, and everybody that's on here now, make sure you go over and check out these guys if you haven't already, along with Explore the Force with Jimmy. So it's just so cool. It's such a great community now that we've all met each other for the most part, and, you know, continue to support each other. And that's what I love about this too. You know, when I'm on, you know, listening to Mike talk, you know, Brandon will jump in and say something, and then, you know, Brandon will come on our podcast, and, you know, Sunday mornings we try to go and, you know, listen to those guys at 11 a.m. on Sunday. And so, oh geez, we got Mike sending me more stuff.
Stay tuned on Mike's channel. He's gonna have a long night.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's on vacation. He's going away, and then he's coming back to do D23 tomorrow. So
Yeah.
Oh wow.
he's the
Quick
man.
vacay.
He's the man.
Yeah.
But no, what a great weekend. I had an awesome time with you guys. Thanks for coming on tonight, and we'll definitely be on each other's channel, I'm sure, sometime soon.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
Thanks for being here, guys. It's always great to talk to you. with that, everyone in the chat, thanks for joining us.
Yep. Thanks, Nick, for helping us out with the questions and hosting.
Anytime.
All right. Well,
Yeah. All right. Well, next Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Book it. We'll see you guys here.
all right. Well,
Thanks,
Sunday,
everybody.
11 a.m. Clan Fett, Clan Brandalorian. May the force be with you.